Alright guys, so let's go through my top office fragrances. I've got 8 here, 7 designer and 1 niche at the end. Now to kick things off, I think there are a few qualities that make a good office fragrance. In general, any scent that's sort of signature worthy is going to work well for the office. Unique, versatile, and so on. I think in addition to that, the scent's got to be, clean, inoffensive. It can't be too heavy and intoxicating that it might choke people out, or too sweet, for instance. So something that's fresh and clean. I think also it should smell a bit more mature. So there are a lot of fragrances that are youthful and playful. Again, very sweet and synthetic smelling, and those are ones you want to avoid. And also I think powdery, soapy scents tend to work well for the office as well, just because of the soft quality that they have. So let's get on with the list. The first one I have for you is this bad boy right here, Dunhill Icon. This is actually one of my favorite bottles. It's so heavy, and I love it. But talking about the smell, this is really, really good, and I mean, I wish that more people talked about this. So this one, it's essentially, a lot of people talk about this as giving off like a grape soda vibe, and when I first heard that, I didn't like how that sounded. Didn't sound quality, it didn't sound sophisticated, but actually this one, in fact, does smell really kind of elegant and classy, and yet it's not old smelling. It's kind of a mature smell that's sophisticated but modern at the same time. It's a vetiver fragrance similar to Terre d'Hermès. It's got a citrusy opening as well as throughout the life of the fragrance. It's got the vetiver base, but it has something a little bit more. It's a citrus. It's a neroli vetiver kind of fragrance. Has a little bit of a resinous quality, but still very sparkling, especially at the opening, and it wears pretty light. So I think in this case, the office setting, it could be a good thing that it wears light and it sits close to the skin. The downside actually is that it doesn't perform so strongly. I mean, it smells so good that I wish that it actually lasted longer. It lasts maybe 4 hours on me. And it also doesn't project very much. I said earlier that that's a good thing, but in this case, actually, it smells so good that if it did have that extra performance, I think it would be, one of the best designer fragrances of all time, actually, based on smell. Next one here, something in the same vein, another vetiver fragrance, well known. This is my personal favorite, personal signature scent. It's also what got me interested in fragrances. It's got this slightly bitter citrus resinous opening. It's very woody and sticky, kind of resinous, but it's so clean. It's so refined smelling. It reminded me of like a 5-star hotel, but not one where you walk into like a bright white kind of shiny lobby, but one that's more dimly lit, like maybe a ballroom, something dimly lit, just a very nice atmosphere that's smooth. So this one would be another great pick. Next up, I'm just gonna go with another vetiver just to wrap that up, and it's Goulash Vetiver. This was a recent find for me, and this I think is truly a hidden gem. The price is good on it, the brand name is good, and you can definitely smell the quality. Everything is so well blended. You can detect the notes, but none of the notes feel so harsh or artificial. As the name says, this is a vetiver fragrance. So vetiver is actually one of my favorite notes, and maybe that's why I like this. But if you like vetiver at all, I think you'll appreciate this. Compared to Dunhill Icon and Terre d'Hermès, this one is a little bit more mature feeling to me. I'd say, you know, it might even give off a more 40s vibe, like a 40-year-old vibe, although you could wear it when you're younger and it just might make you classier. This one has a vintage feel to it. It's kind of, you know, there are a couple fragrances that remind me of the older times and certain settings like a library or a gentleman's club, and this is one of them. What does it smell like? This one, you know, it's a very, I would say the main notes here are lemon, tobacco, and vetiver, of course, right? So it's to me, it feels like kind of a very natural lemon that again stays throughout the whole fragrance, mixed in with some spices and tobacco. You know, it doesn't smell dark at all. It's a very clean fragrance on a bed of clean vetiver. So I love this one. It wears again light. It's refreshing. You know, I actually often love to wear it right out of the shower. And at home when lounging. So that's how easy to wear this one is. I think it would work in all situations. So it would work in the office and also feel a bit formal at the same time. Next up, again, Acqua di Gio Profumo, another often talked about fragrance. You know, I think this actually is one of those that shines in the office setting. You know, people love this for being, you know, mass appealing, just really likable, works in all situations. But I think that incense really, you know, takes it to a new level and makes it really nice for the office. It's slightly sweet, it's aquatic, fresh, and then you've got the kind of the incense that makes this a bit deeper. And again, you know, you just smell more professional and boss in the office. In contrast to that, this one right here is Prada Amber Pour Homme. You know, it was in my favorite designer fragrances list. It's an older one released in 2006, but it is the first men's Prada fragrance, which is important to know. You know, this is what started it all. Kind of that powdery DNA that you find in Prada fragrances. You know, this Daniela Andre definitely put that in here. But this one is truly a lot soapier than those other things. It has such a strong projection. It smells so strong from the nozzle. But it's this super luxurious soap smelling, but yet, you know, spicy, aromatic, kind of lavender feel to it. Just so good. It's just so clean. You know, it is more powdery and it might feel a bit more feminine, but I personally think it's quite masculine because of that lavender, the spices. Really good one. Next one is an obvious one. Bleu de Chanel. This is as safe as it gets. I mean, pretty much I think any blue fragrance is gonna work for the office, but I'd say this one is the best one and also sort of the most expensive smelling of the blue fragrances. I don't really like blue fragrances. I think they're sharp and they're you know, it tends to be a little bit harsh, but this one, it has that deeper amber quality. It just smells better than all the other blue fragrances in my opinion, and maybe because it was the first one. Last but not least, actually not last, I said there was a niche one too, which I don't have the bottle of, but Mont Blanc Individual. Again, I think, you know, this is often found in cheapy lists. It's very cheap, but I think it works great for the office. I'll tell you why. This one, along with Prada Amber Pour Homme, I mean, is this a coincidence? The color of the juice is kind of similar, this purple lavender, right? But the vibe this gives is similar in the sense that, again, it's powdery, like washer dryer kind of feel, but not in a bad way, not a detergent kind of feel. It's soft and it's yet spicy, similar to Prada Amber Pour Homme, and again slightly sweet. So that mix, I think, works really well in smelling sophisticated but interesting, and also soft and not overwhelming. you guys know this one. I mean, I think this is so good. You know, I think more and more, the more and more I smell this and use it, you know, I continue to like it, and that's a sign of a good fragrance. Despite this one being so cheap, it's good. This one, I'd say the opening's more, I like it a lot more than the dry down. The dry down is more simple, kind of, you know, like drier sheet feel for sure. This one though, that dry down, you know, it keeps all the uniqueness that you get in the opening. Bit better fragrance in my opinion, but again, good choice. The last one, which I don't have a bottle of, is a niche one, and again, it's a popular one. Reflection Man by Amouage. Reflection Man, I think, is again in the powdery direction, but you know, I can't even describe it. It's unique. It's again got that spicy, aromatic, but quality, but it's a bit more floral than the other powdery fragrances. More floral, but it's mixed so well. It's clean. It's bright, but it's got this weight to it. It's like, it almost for me has like a pillowy feel. It's so soft, so cozy, while being, you know, very professional. And I'd say, you know, it is expensive, so it does smell expensive. So you definitely do get what you pay for in that case. You know, when I first smelled it, and you know, I definitely felt it was nothing like, it was like nothing I smelled before. So Amouage Reflection Man, perfect one if you have the money. That's probably the only one you need for the office. It can become a signature scent. And it would work all year round because it's got that longevity, strength. You know, it has that weight to it, while being airy. So Reflection Man's a great one. Alright guys, so that's my list. By the way, this is a remnant from Valentine's Day. You'll see based on the date this goes up. But let me know what you guys think, what you know, any suggestions for office fragrances. I'd love to have them, so that I can use them for myself. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.